Greetings everyone, I have returned. I am in the mood to make a silly video today, just for no reason. So what I've done for today's video is I have taken every category of makeup that I use and I have inserted them into a randomizer, and it has given me an order to apply these products, and it is completely randomized, and some of it is not going to be pretty, but we are just gonna have a good time. So let us begin. There are 17 steps in this randomizer that I input, and the first one is for setting powder. So we are on the path to success. So I'm going to be using this Laura Mercier, just the good old-fashioned translucent setting powder. I've had this one for far too long, and at this point I'm just trying to use it. So all I have on is just a clean face with a smack of setting moisturizer. I've just taken a little bit of the powder with a brush. It's already a little hot in here, so I'm a little teensy sweaty, so maybe this will actually prove to be successful. I'm not sure. Okay, I know I've seen some beauty people doing this technique, like intentionally. It's supposed to create like a barrier between your makeup and your skin, so that if you have really oily skin, it's just supposed to be like a really interesting method to block the oil. We shall see. I'm gonna do my very best to make this look good as like my challenge, so I'm really hopeful this is... Oh my gosh, I just realized that in my steps I forgot a concealer. So we will just have to add that in somewhere along the way. Alright, so I've got my setting powder on first. Check. Okay, the next step is powder eyeshadow. So that's gonna be next. We are hopping right into that without a primer underneath, which is not much my style, but that is the challenge. Okay. I'm going to be using my Hindash palette, the Beautopsy, and I'll probably just try something kind of neutral, but I don't know how that'll look. Eyeshadow primer is something that I try to never skip, so this feels so weird. Face primer I do skip often, but eye primer I don't. I just feel like it enhances every single look I do when I have eyeshadow primer versus face primer. There's too many variables with like my skincare products underneath, and like my texture on my skin versus my eyes are pretty consistently, like I don't put eye cream on the lid during the day, so that's not a variable, and it's a lot smoother on here than the rest of my skin, so I don't really have to interfere. Rather, the eyeshadow doesn't have interference. Ooh, I'm already noticing that the payoff of this color is a lot weaker than it normally is. Ooh. I'm gonna dip into a little bit of the deeper brown, which I don't normally do it right away. If anything, I feel like my eyes are normally a little dry in the day, like before I put my makeup on, and then they get a little bit like naturally oily throughout the day. So putting this on like really dry skin just feels so weird. I also haven't put on makeup in a while, so my hand's like, what do I do? I'm gonna add a touch of the pink from the Beautopsy palette. Okay, so next up is bronzer. I had picked out my Putty Bronzer from e.l.f. to use today. Hopefully this goes over top of my translucent powder all right. I'm gonna try to do like underpainting, which is kind of like just doing a heavier amount of bronzer and blush if they're before. Whew, silly old me. I have had such great luck with my phone recording like the last year, ever since I've got the phone that I have now, to the point where I don't have to check it. It keeps recording for like 30 minutes or longer. However, this one only caught about 8 minutes and then it was like, nah. So then I went on for like another 8 minutes, had a great story, and now we're here. Okay, so I finished up that bronzer. As you can see, I'm looking golden since the last time you saw. And then the next step was highlighter. I used the Lisa Eldridge Elevated Glow, which is like a liquid luminizer. So that's why I'm shiny. I'm exasperated because I saw that it wasn't recording and I was like, no. And then after that was lip liner, which is from Lisa Eldridge. This is in the shade Muse, as you can see. To summarize the great story that I had, I posted foundation swatches on my Instagram from the Lisa Eldridge foundation. They send out like little samples of colors so you can try them before you buy the full-size bottle. However, in my post, I said that none of those colors looked right on me and that here are some other foundations I do love that do match me well. Someone from Lisa Eldridge messaged me. They asked me to send them photos of my skin and they would help me color match basically from London, and they would send me foundation matches like custom for me. So I just was saying how inspired and like special I felt, and I'm expecting that. So off of that. So after lip liner is foundation. Classic. I love doing my foundation right after my lip liner. I'm going to be using the Face Atelier Ultra Foundation Pro. This is shade 1. We will see how this looks over top of everything. Keep in mind I do still have that setting powder underneath. It is kind of mixing with the bronzer and it kind of makes the complexion look a little brown, which is okay, just different. Have you guys ever seen the TV show Girlfriends? It was like a early 2000s sitcom about 4 best girlfriends and like their relationship and their lives and stuff like that. Anyway, somehow this last week I've been binging the entire series, which isn't so crazy because each episode is like, 24 minutes because of what it would have been on air lengthwise. And I just can't stop watching it because it's so funny, so well written. I do love the characters. And I remember some of the episodes because when I was a teen, in my bedroom I had a little TV that was like in my closet and it was hooked up to bunny ears, so I only got like basic channels. And UPN channel 13 was one of those channels, and so I would watch Girlfriends, probably when it wasn't like fresh on, when it was like repeats. But anyways, stumbled upon it on Netflix and I was like, oh hey, I remember this show. I thought I liked it as a teen, even though I wasn't a woman in my late 30s like the characters. I wasn't black like the characters, and I didn't have like an LA life like the characters, but I still really liked it. Anyway, so watching it now as an adult in my 30s, not in LA, not black, it's really good. Oh my gosh, my hairline looks atrocious. I'm really trying to buff that. Alright, that is the foundation on. Man, this lip liner is so jarring. I closed the window in here because there is some mild construction occurring nearby. I'm getting really sweaty. Whew. After foundation is a classic. It's false lashes. Because after you put on your eyeshadow, you want to skip straight to those lashes. I picked out some of my Ardell lashes. These are in the number 422. Kind of like that fluttery, flirty lash. When I worked at Sephora, I knew so many other girls who would wear lashes, I'm not kidding, like just by themselves. Like no eyeshadow, no mascara, no liner. And somehow it looked great. I can't help but attribute that to them having like beautiful skin, dark lashes already, and then these just sort of like made them pop. You know, they would wear like their brows done and their lipstick done and blush, but like they were good after that. I keep having to check my phone to see if it's recording. Now I'm paranoid, but that's fine. This feels so like mistaken to be putting them onto like my natural lashes without anything else, because typically my lashes are so blonde that it looks like you can see my blonde lashes against the fake black. Yep, this looks like a mistake. It looks like I'm trying to fool somebody into thinking that these are my lashes. And the fool is me. That side looks a little bit more believable. Something looks derpy over here. Whew, okay, that took me a minute because I went to go fix, and you know what happens when you try to fix something, you end up just like creating more problems. Well, this side looks okay. Kind of looks like I am a little bit of a doll, and then this side looks like I fell asleep in my lashes or something, so let's just not look at that side. Okay, here is exactly what I was afraid of, you guys. The next step is going to be face primer. So we've got on our translucent powder, our bronzer, our highlighter, our foundation, and now it's time for primer. Oh my goodness. Let's do a little test area. Okay. I know I said I was gonna try to make this look good, but I think we are past a point. Remarkably, it isn't taking off as much as I thought it would. Oh god, juicy. Just kind of looks like I'm profusely perspiring on my forehead. I think I put too much on the forehead. Ugh. And on the nose. Well, what's done is done. It's time for brow gel. I feel like this is kind of inconsequential in any step because it could have been first, second, last, like it didn't matter. Because I only use this one step for my eyebrows, it just sort of, it doesn't interfere with anything else. I think if I was someone who did like eye pencil and like eye powder, or I mean eyebrow pencil, eyebrow powder, then I think that would have been a little bit more challenging. Okay, next, eye primer. Perfect. Really gotta get that powder nice and goopy. I'm just putting some onto the back of my knuckle right here. Perfect. Really removed some of that color. Okay, next is blush. I've got my e.l.f. Putty blush. This one is in Tahiti. gonna use the e.l.f. blush brush. I wonder what it feels like to the other products, like to be trying to put something else on. It's like, please no. Doesn't look terrible. It just looks like flawed. It looks like it's just like skipping over some spots. Oops, I think that was a little too much. Off. Oh no, okay, so that was just totally my fault. I just went in like a ham person. Ooh. Oh my, well, just hold please. You just try to buff that out of existence. Oh shoot, I just remembered I forgot concealer again somewhere. Well, at this point, perhaps it's meant to have been forgotten. Look a little crazy. Okay guys, next is mascara. It's the perfect time. Especially when your eyelashes look like that. Can't hurt you, right? I know for a fact a lot of people I know put their mascara and lashes on in this particular order, where their falsies go first and then their mascara next. However, the problem with us blonde lashed people is that if you do this way, there's a chance that you miss some of the lashes and you end up looking a fool. Because when I put my mascara on, I like to kind of go from the bottom and from the top to just like try to conceal all of the blonde hairs. Not today. Next is lip gloss. Excellent. Going for that Cholita look. It's not my look. It is for someone out there. Okay guys, cream eyeshadow. Got here the Tom Ford Emotion Proof Eye Color in number 4, Brut Rose. Thank you, Adri, for this little goodie. Just add a little sparkle. Sometimes sparkle can kind of fix messy eyeshadow because it kind of conceals like splotches and things like that. Next, eyeliner. Very important step after you put your entire look of eye makeup on. Just going in with my NYX Epic ink liner, which truly I think is the best brush tip liquid liner there is. I'm going in with my Hourglass Veil Soft Focus Setting Spray. That went right in my mouth. Last up, lipstick. I have here the Lisa Eldridge lipstick in the shade Rose Official. It's just like this really beautiful, like pinky, almost like a rosy brown. Again, my kind of color. I'm gonna put it on the back of my hand so that it doesn't touch my lip gloss that I have on. Whew. Well, my friends, here is me never looking better. I think if you saw me from afar, you'd be like, oh, okay. And then we'd get really close and you'd say, what's the matter with your skin? I do have like this bit missing here. Got like incredibly sweaty forehead syndrome. Oh yeah, no concealer. That really ties the look together. The eye look I think is actually fine. The Hin Dash is hardly hanging on to anything though. You know what, for the weird layering of the powder first and everything else after, it's not as bad. I've actually had incredibly bad foundation just from layering it on top of like skincare, so that's not so bad. Well, whew. Oh my. Well, anyways, thank you so much for bearing with me. I hope you had fun watching this randomized makeup look. Anyways, I hope you are doing so well, and I will see you soon, hopefully. Bye!